Before I start this video, I want to thank absolutely everybody who is a viewer of this channel and who is subscribed to this channel. When I started it about 18 months ago, did my first video and I got, I think, 45 views. I think they were my mates and family. You wonder, should I be doing this and whatever, but we're now up to almost 3,500 subscribers in that time, and I can't believe it, and I'm really appreciative to all of you. And I know there's quite a few now who are coming back to watch them, so really genuinely thank you. If you haven't subscribed yet, or you don't generally comment but you watch them, please subscribe, please comment. That's what YouTube looks at, and that's when they will throw your video out to more and more people. So again, just a quick word, let's get on to the video. I said in the last video that this Liverpool transfer window might just be the best ever for any team, not just for Liverpool. The only comparable one, I've seen people comparing the signings of Barnes, Beardsley and Aldrich, and we also brought in Nigel Spackman as well, and it wasn't even in a window, because two of them came in one window and one of them came in the other, so it wasn't even in one particular window, but they were hugely successful. And in hindsight, I can see why people look at that as the best ever sort of transfer period in our history. Because remember, we lost Dalglish, who had basically taken himself out the team as the player manager to just manage, and Ian Rush had left. So Barnes, Beardsley and Aldrich were brought in to try and compensate for the loss of two genuine, bona fide, brilliant legends. And there is a big difference between that one and this one, in that we've just brought in four huge, massive talents that pretty much across the board, people are going, wow, look at the talent of the players Liverpool are bringing in. We brought John Aldrich in from Oxford, and we brought Peter Beardsley in from Newcastle, and we brought John Barnes in from Watford. But it was a masterstroke period. But let's get on to the masterstroke period of now. The four signings that we know for sure. As of doing this video, we don't know about Gehi. We don't know about another forward. But let's talk about the four that we know. Mamardashvili, Kerkez, Frimpong and Wirtz. Only one of them is a direct replacement in terms of Trent's gone and Frimpong will come in along with Conor Bradley to take on the role that Trent had sort of made his own. But the other three are different. Kerkez is probably going to play a lot of games, but he's also got the excellent Andy Robertson still there. Mamardashvili is going to play second fiddle to Alisson because Alisson is so brilliant, but he's bought for the future. Wirtz is the missing link between an excellent midfield and an excellent attack, but he didn't quite have that one creative mastermind between them. So let's go through each one at a time. Giorgio Mamardashvili. Took me a while to get that right. Age 24 and he's 6'6". He was goalkeeper of the year in Georgia in both 2020 and 2024. He was Georgian Footballer of the Year in 2020 and 2024. Last year, playing for Valencia, he made the Athletic La Liga Team of the Season, or in other words, he was the best goalkeeper in La Liga as per the Athletic. One of the big reasons for that was he prevented more goals statistically than any keeper in the league last season. He was also nominated for the Yashin Trophy, which is something that's given out in France for the world's greatest goalkeeper. Now, he didn't win it, but he was nominated for it, which tells you, if you're nominated for anything, Ballon d'Or, something like that, you're up there. You're considered elite in your position. So while many Liverpool fans, me included, were disappointed to see Quevin Kelleher move on to Brentford, best of luck, lad. I hope you do brilliantly there, by the way. And I'm trying to look inside Liverpool now, inside the minds of your Richard Hugheses and Arne Slot's. While Kelleher was a very, very good goalkeeper, Mamardashvili is considered an elite goalkeeper, a goalkeeper that is up to the standards of an Alisson. And really, really importantly, he's 8 years younger than Alisson. And by the way, 2 years younger than Kelleher. He's got everything ready-made to come in, learn his trade. And Alisson, who's now 32, and may well be at Liverpool for several more seasons, but you've got a brilliant goalkeeper in reserve who is going to learn the Liverpool way while he eventually moves into the full-time role as full-time goalkeeper. And the other thing that's really important, in 2023-2024, he played 37 games. In 24-25, he played 34 games. So over the last 2 seasons, he's played 71 times. Alisson played 28 games last season and 28 games the season before in the league. So he's missed virtually a quarter of a season in the last 2 seasons. Mamardashvili has hardly missed any. So I'm sure this also played into Liverpool's thinking as well about bringing in an elite young goalkeeper, is that Alisson, he seems to be susceptible to injury more than the average goalkeeper. On to Jeremy Frimpong, age 24, 2 years younger than Trent. The obvious thing you're going to do when you look at Frimpong is look back at Trent. How does he compare? What's he going to give to the team? Is he capable of replacing the output of Trent? So let's go through that. So Trent played 354 games for Liverpool and he scored 23 times. Frimpong played 190 games for Leverkusen and scored 30 times. So Trent scored once every 15.4 games. Frimpong scored once every 6.3 games. In 2024-25, Trent played 33 times. This is all league games. He scored 3 and had 6 assists for 9 goal contributions. Frimpong also played 33 times. He had 5 and 5 for 10 goal contributions. Season before, Trent played 28 and had 3 goals, 4 assists, 7 contributions. Frimpong played 31 but had 9 goals and 7 assists for 16 goal contributions. So over the last 2 seasons, Trent had 16 goal contributions. Frimpong had 26. Now I know one's in the Bundesliga, one's in the Premier League, but you can only compare them that way because that's where they play. Frimpong, on average, records double the amount of dribbles versus Trent, but produces half the number of passes. So in other words, he's not passing from deep. He's an overlapper and he's a dribbler and he's trying to get into the box. And again, looking at the league only, Trent has played 259 Liverpool games. He's got 18 goals and 64 assists for a total of 82. Frimpong has only played 133 games, almost exactly half of what Trent has played. But he's got 23 goals, 5 more than Trent, and he's got 25 assists for a total of 48. But if you look at that as a function of average per game, Trent has got a goal contribution every 3.16 games. Frimpong has a goal contribution every 2.77 games. So he has a more threat as a contributor of goals than Trent did. Even though Trent was one of the greatest passers in the game, in terms of actually contributing to goals, Frimpong's numbers are better. One other thing, I don't know if you remember the game against Man City where Doku created like a new Premier League record for dribbling past a player who was Trent. Well, in 2024-2025, Trent was dribbled past 55 times. Frimpong was dribbled past 13 times. Now, you could make various theories about that. Well, Frimpong is often in the opposition half, blah, blah, blah. But the fact is, Trent was dribbled past 55 times and he was only 13. Or in other words, Trent was dribbled past twice per game and Frimpong was dribbled past once every 2 games. and that has to be a good thing. On to Milos Kerkez, who's going to add youth, competition and a huge amount of quality to the left-back area, where, let's face it, last season Robbo struggled and Tsimikas was an able but limited deputy. Kerkez is 21. Andy Robertson is 31. It's a 10-year age gap. By the way, guess who he played for in the 2022-23 season? AZ Alkmaar, Arne Slot's old team. It's quite interesting. Kerkez has actually played against Slot 4 times. He's played 2 games against Feyenoord when he was at AZ, and he's played 2 games while he's been at Bournemouth against Slot's Liverpool, and he's lost all 4. But that's that aside. Guess who brought him from AZ to Bournemouth? Richard Hughes. Guess who brought him from Bournemouth to Liverpool? Richard Hughes and Arne Slot. Now remember, Hughes and Slot and Michael Edwards have only been together at Liverpool since 2024. It just shows the level of the working relationship there, because obviously Hughes has said, Arne, this Kerkez lad is for us. I've watched him through his career and he's absolutely ideal for the blueprint, the tactical setup for Arne Slot Liverpool team. And he went and got him. And the fact that they're already combining to get the likes of these players bodes so well for the future. One thing about Kerkez, he plays as high up the field as Trent did and as Frimpong and Bradley will. His overlaps far, far exceed those of 31-year-old Andy Robertson. Now, that's based on statistics from last season, because Andy Robertson played further back. You might actually not notice that in an everyday game, but on average, when you look at the average positions for the season, Andy Robertson did not get as far forward as he had in previous seasons, and he did not do the overlaps and the successful overlaps and the successful crosses that he'd done in previous seasons. Kerkez did, and it resulted in Andy Robertson last season got no goals and 1 assist. Andy Robertson with 1 assist in the league. Tsimikas got 0 goals and 1 assist. Kerkez got 2 goals and 5 assists. 7 versus 1 and 1. And it's because he overlaps so much and to such great effect. And importantly, the reason he can do that is because he's 21 and he can bomb back. There are statistics that will show that he is as fast going back as he is going forward. So he does not vacate his left back duties, even though he loves to get in the box. So finally, Florian Wirtz, 22 years and 2 months old. He's younger than Gerald Kwanzaa, Tyler Morton, and he's even a month younger than Harvey Elliott. He's 2 years younger than Curtis Jones. He played 140 games for Leverkusen and scored 35 goals. So he scored for Leverkusen 1 goal every 4 games. He played 197 total games for Leverkusen and scored 57 goals. So his number actually goes up to 1 goal every 3.5 games. In 2024-2025, he had 25 Bundesliga starts. He scored 10 goals and 12 assists. In the previous season, he had 26 starts and he had 11 goals and 11 assists. In season 23-24, he won the Bundesliga, he won the German Cup, he won the German Super Cup, and he was Player of the Year. He was also Bundesliga Player of the Year last season when Leverkusen came second. He's won multiple Young Player of the Season since he was about 16. He's won several of them. And why he has been brought in, you've got the industry and the box-to-box of Szoboszlai. You've got the cleverness of McAllister. You've got the rock that is Gravenberch. And then you've got Curtis Jones who can come and fill in those roles. But you haven't got anybody capable of 22 goals and assists 2 seasons ago and 22 goals and assists last season in that Liverpool midfield. He's a player that is always trying to create. He's always looking for the killer pass. He's always looking for the clever pass. He doesn't think backwards. That's not his game. He doesn't play the safe option. He plays the clever option. He plays the option that is more likely to advance the team and more likely to eventually create a goal. So just going back to his assists from the last couple of seasons. So as I say, he had 12 assists last season and he's got 23 assists in his last 2 seasons. Dominik Szoboszlai, who started approximately, it's very, very close, the same number of games of the last 2 seasons, has gotten a total league of 9 goals and 8 assists for a grand total of 17. McAllister, same number of starts, again, very, very close, has got 10 goal contributions, 5 goals, 5 assists 2 seasons ago, and 5 goals, 5 assists this season. So he's got 20. Dominik Szoboszlai's got 17. Florian Wirtz had 44. 44 versus 20 and 17. Just shows you that, yeah, those others are very, very, very good players. You know, top class players. But Florian Wirtz is the X factor. He has been brought in very, very specifically to be that missing link. And I cannot wait to see how that works out, especially when you've got Bradley or Frimpong battling down the right and you've got Kerkez or Robbo battling down the left. It's going to be spectacular. In summary, all 4 of these signings are done with very, very specific purpose. All 4 have got the pedigree, the background, the ambition, the age, and most importantly, the top class quality to be game changers for years to come. And I'm not just talking about game changers in terms of they can change a game. I'm talking game changers in terms of what they can mean for Liverpool Football Club going forward, because this is the future. The future is beginning now. It started last season with a title win, but Liverpool are on a march, and these 4 players prove it. And I'm hoping to do a video soon about the addition of a couple more. But for right now, even as it stands, this is mouth-watering stuff that Liverpool have done. And such clever, purpose-driven transfers that are built specifically to fit in to the Arne Slot model of how a football team can function to maximum effect. I'll just say it again. The 4 players that we brought in: Mamardashvili, 24. Frimpong, 24. Kerkez, 21. Florian Wirtz, 22. The future is incredibly bright, and we are very lucky to be watching it and be a part of it. I can't wait for the start of next season. I'll talk to you soon. Please subscribe if you haven't. You'll never walk alone. Cheers. Ta-ra.